I'm Dr. Mike Milligan. I've got a real treat for you here. Anyone thinking about getting into the politics of dentistry, I've got the Illinois State Dental Society President, Larry Osborne from Decatur, Illinois. Larry, thanks so much for being with us here.
Thank you, Mike. Glad to be with you.
Well, I appreciate it. And so you were just a few years behind me in dental school and had no idea that you were going to do something like this, but what got you interested in getting into the politics in dentistry?
Well, I'll tell you, in dental school, Mike, I was a member of the student, it wasn't called ASDA then, okay, but the Student Association. I got a little bit a taste of what the ADA is about and what being in a profession is all about. When I got out, you know, you're starting to practice. You don't have a lot of time to do. You have all the other things, all the pressures, starting a family and things like that. I was involved in the local society as far as program chairman and going through that, and enjoyed that. Enjoyed the camaraderie of the local people and things like that. In Decatur, we have a fairly close knit group.
Right.
But at the same token, you know, I was asked to take on some responsibility in the state, really getting involved with the dental pack. Okay. Dr. Howard Stone was the president at that time and asked me would I take his position as far as being the rep for that. Okay. And I said, I can do that. And then he wanted me to be trustee, and I said, Howard, right now is not the right time. So I had to pass on that the first time around. And that's kind of how I got started, really, in the dental pack and really the politics of dentistry and the legislative side. And I enjoyed that arena. It was fascinating, and I learned quite a bit.
Okay. So then you moved ahead, and there are a number of offices you go through to get to be the president.
Sure.
Tell me about that.
Well, as trustee, I was very fortunate. Dr. Leo Finley from Chicago, he knew my interest in politics and things like that, named me one of his choices for representing the 8th District, Illinois, in the council, in the ADA's Council of Governmental Affairs. He did that in 2000.
Okay.
In 2002, Decatur Dental Society had to put up somebody for trustee because we rotate that around with Champaign, Illini, and Eastern and Danville District. And so it was my turn again. It was a good time. So I got involved with that. I was involved with the ADA level to a great degree. And on my 4th year of that, I was elected from the members of that council to chair that council in 2004. And that was a really turbulent time in the ADA. We had the Alaskan dental health therapist issue that was right on the forefront. Okay. And I was one of the 6 dentists that volunteered to go to Alaska for a week. Oh, good. And we served dentistry for a week up there, and it was an eye-opening experience. And studying and reporting back to the ADA the difficulties and the specifics of access to care in some of these remote villages. Right. Okay. And it was a great experience. It was a great experience. Did a lot of dentistry. Enjoyed the natives. I mean, they enjoyed. They got dentistry. This village, Breivik Mission, got dentistry for 3 weeks out of the year. There was dentists for 3 weeks, and they was in succession. They had, and I was there the first week, so I saw everything. Okay. A lot of pediatric, even some older individuals, but the decay was rampant throughout. I mean, just unbelievable. So
you did this for the ADA, and then that moved you on into
that moved me into the state. I decided at that time, after my 3rd year of trustee, that I needed to either step up or step back. Okay. And decided that I'd had a taste of that, and enjoyed not only just the I enjoyed the politics of it, and what I could do, what I feel I could do to improve dentistry, and you make that commitment. But really, the people that I've met along the way has been really the most rewarding thing. Sure, I mean, I've got the relationships, not just in Illinois, a lot of great relationship in Illinois, but all over the United States.
So what kind of so you've done a lot with the political arena here. Was it what you expected?
Tell you the truth, it's been much more than what I ever expected. It's opened a lot of doors. It's opened a lot of eyes. I've looked at things in different lights. but at the same token, you always want to look at that light from your patient's eyes and what is best. You take an oath to protect the public and to do the best you can for the profession,
right?
And putting your best foot forward. And I think that's really, I think every president, every person in leadership wants to leave dentistry, the profession that we love, better than when we came into it. So I think that's how we grow and learn. But the relationships that I've gained and some fantastic, some ones that I'll cherish the rest of my life, even after I'm out of the leadership role. I don't know that you ever leave that, because if you're engaged in the process, you're engaged in the process.
That's right. If you're that type of personality, that's just part of it.
Unfortunately, that's my wife says that's the way it is.
Now, what kind of time commitment? You've been a scratch golfer. Are you a scratch now?
I'm not a scratch golfer now, Mike.
Your golf game
the last 2 years, it's kind of been a little bit. I used to qualify in a couple times, and your experience, I know, in the Illinois State Amateur. That's kind of the last few years have just kind of gone on by the wayside, because there's not enough much time. I love the game, and I still love that. And after this September, I hope to get a few more hours of practice in there.
What kind of time commitment has it been, though, would you say?
Well, probably it's been everything that I thought it was. There's this year in particular, as far as visiting all the components, and we've just finished talking to McLean County and you great folks in Bloomington, and really giving an update on what's going on in the state. And I've enjoyed that. I've done a lot of installations of their officers, local components, and things like that. You guys do a fantastic job here, and I've really enjoyed getting to meet people. And right now our hot topic is the mid-level, low-level provider. That everybody around the nation, you know, there's some states that have embraced that. Illinois, we haven't embraced that, because I think dentistry needs to come up with their own solution. And I think the dental profession will do that. And in Illinois, that's what we're working for.
We're at the forefront of that.
Yep.
Well, what's so the best part about it has been the relationships. What's the one thing or something that just you didn't expect that you need to warn somebody thinking about going to politics and dentistry?
Mike, the one thing, I'm used to traveling. I know you have a brother that has a plane. I've got good friends that usually will fly. If I've got to be in a car more than 3 hours, I want to be flying, because it just doesn't make it's not that I don't like to drive, it's just a lot of wasted time in my part.
So you've done a lot of driving.
So I've done a lot of driving, and I've hopefully covered enough miles that it'll pay for another set of tires here real soon.
Absolutely, that's right.
I'm telling you.
What about your dental practice? How has this affected your dental practice?
Well, I tell you, I have a wonderful staff, and my staff has done a fantastic job in getting my time. It seems like I am extremely busy. Everybody talks about the last year and a half being the slowdown with the economy and things like that. And it's affected in different ways. But to be honest with you, as much the time that I've been out of the office, and I can't tell you there's been any more than what I expected, but the bottom line of it is, when I'm there, I'm really engaged, and I'm working, and the girls have been very good. My staff have been very good, and we've worked a little bit over on certain days. I've worked through lunch hours, and that's just the nature of the beast. You just do the work that needs to be done. I'll look forward to getting back to a little more normal schedule. But
you've done a great service. It must be very rewarding for you.
Very much so. Very much so. And again, the measure of that is hopefully leaving things better than I found it.
What one thing would you tell someone thinking about doing this? Either encouragement or a warning or something.
Oh, there'd be a lot of encouragement, because the value of what I've done on my journey has been the people and the places I've been. It's been fantastic. I'm a small town from Decatur. I grew up there and whatnot. I've seen a lot of places, not just in Illinois. I've seen a lot of places from the tip of this state. I mean, it's been, in fact, bring back to when I was in dental school, first time I was ever on an airplane was going to New Orleans in a conference there for the American Dental Association, the student.
No kidding.
Yeah, first time I'd ever been on an airplane. Dean says, "You're coming with me."
Right.
He says, "I understand you play golf." I said, "Yeah, bring your clubs." And so we went to this conference. I played with a couple dental school deans, with my dean, and I said, "Man, I could get used to this."
Yeah.
And it's just opened a lot of doors in that regard. So encouragement, do it and I tried to do that. Do it when it's right for you.
Right.
You know, we want to get young people involved, but right when you're starting up a practice is difficult. There'll be some individuals that can do that, but at the same token, get engaged to the level you want to be engaged. And any engagement is because your profession needs you. I mean, we need decision makers now, and we didn't know the pulse of what's going on. And I think the leaders of the Illinois State Dental Society have really reached out and tried to get that.
Larry, thanks so much for being with us.
Mike, pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very much.